What up, man? Listen, home, by popular demand, Pnoid's now selling merch. Man, look here, all right? We got 3 designs. We got the Pnoid Gorilla regular avatar. We have the Red Dead Redemption. And on top of that, man, listen, we got motherfucking Angry Gorilla, all right? We got t-shirts. We have onesies for your baby. Take your baby and turn it into a baby gorilla. On top of that, we got pillows. Come cuddle up with the gorilla. And on top of that, we got cell phones and mugs. Cop you some merch right now. I'm the tower, probably down your neck of the woods.
I mean, shit, dude, I'm right outside of DC, so this rarely ever happens because we have 2 power grids.
What up, and welcome to Pnoid Live. I know we were supposed to do this shit on Monday, but I'll be honest with you, man. Like, legit, my bottom bitch be walking the street and then just walks the fuck off in the goddamn traffic, and I don't know what the fuck happens to him. It's a fucking pain in the ass. You know what I mean? Yeah. I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't. Fucking. Yo, look, man. All right, it's not my fault. All right, that Nina got in my way when I was on brown liquor, and I picked her up, and I thought that she was a lollipop, but apparently lollipops don't scream. I didn't fucking know this fact. All right, until that moment. It was what it was. All right. That was a bad night. We need to move the fuck on. All right. Things happen. Charges were filed. Court dates were ignored. New court dates were scheduled. New court dates were ignored. The process renews itself. It is what it is. Yo, but yo, with us always, we got my bottom bitch, my partner, my muse, my fucking Accelerate, the only YouTuber with dazzle knee pads, and my nigga Doku showed the fuck up. What up, my brother? How the fuck you doing?
Yo, fucking chilling, man. How you guys doing?
Man, listen, we was over on Gaming and Yelling stream, and we really got into some shit. You know what I'm saying? And we decided that, look, man, it's one of these nights that we need to just fucking, like, you know, get this fucking nonsense the fuck out and handle our goddamn business. And I've been meaning to have this stream with Excel, right? Like, I've been meaning to get this the fuck in. And, like, yo, you're a great person to have here because you're also another economics guy. Like, me, you, and Excel, all of us are, like, you know, real, you know, I mean, fucking monetary type of individuals. We're them type of cats who thinks, so, man, it's them fucking things that we fucking talk about, but the fucking money and the fucking exchanges and, you know what I'm saying, the movement of goods, currency, fucking fiat currencies, monies, gold, silver. Some of all these, what, nigga, how many grams of coke equals fucking an ounce? It used to be 2. Well, I don't know where the fuck it is today, but it used to be 2. You know what I mean? Because it's $50 a gram. You know what I'm saying? $100 for an ounce. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, it used to be $1 or it used to be $50 a gram. That's how it used to go out. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Well, it was like 100 an ounce for, you know what I mean, middies or just regular bullshit. God damn, man. Fucking getting it done. Anyway, yo, man, fucking quit having, man, listen, you shouldn't be getting your shit stepped on that fucking much. That's why we buy out of fucking New York where I'll come from. Anyway, so, man, listen, fucking gotta buy out them Spanish folks. So we got into the conversation about progressivism, right? And like, you know, we both agreed that it's, what up? What up? What do you mean he can't hear other people? Who can you not hear?
Testing.
That's not Mad Dodge, that's Doku.
And Dodge says he's having the same issue.
What?
Can you hear Excel? Can you hear me, or can you guys only hear Tom P?
How the fuck can you only hear me?
Okay, okay, so they can hear me. They're saying they can't hear Excel. Okay, yeah, so they're saying they can hear Doku, they can hear Tom P, they can't hear you, Excel.
Yep.
Oh.
The whole mood.
It's a great way to start off the stream. Excel with his motherfucking problems and shit.
Time will tell.
Excel, say some shit. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come through. Legit.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear Excel now? Type in the chat. Let us know.
Yeah, nah, Excel, I can't hear. Yeah, Excel, I'm listening to the stream. I can't hear it at all. I can't hear Excel.
Yeah, they're still saying that you're lighting up, but there's no audio coming through.
All right, cool. See what the fuck is going on. You're not server muted, are you? I don't think. Fucking like, yo. Okay, cool. Like, I'm making sure. Like, fucking, I don't think I fucking did anything with the goddamn Discord. Legit. Anyway, yo, what up, everybody? You know what I'm saying? Fucking, we were having a conversation about progressivism and how progressivism is actually part of the fucking Protestant church and shit, right? Holy shit, Gulf City Joe Snyder's over here. What up, man? Welcome back, my brother. I ain't seen you in a minute. Fucking Doku, speak.
Oh yeah, we were having this conversation last night about progressivism is the offshoot of the Protestant church, and you made the point that it's the official religion of the United States. You know, all men are created equal and everything. You know, freedom for everyone. You know, and at the time, yeah, you have a point because we came out of an area or an area in time where monarchies and aristocracies and oligarchies, was kind of the running thing. Yeah, the great experiment, so to speak. So yeah, I see your argument there. Now, I would say progressivism as we know it today is not quite the same thing as it was back then. I would say it's slingshot all the way around to protected classes and everything, like the marginalized groups, protected classes, this and that. They're the new social oligarchs.
Well, I'll be real with you, man. Like, fucking, I stood here and I fucking actually looked this dude up. Fucking, I thought it was important to look this shit up. Fucking, hang on. Let me tell you the guy. Henry Wallace, right, is the guy that I bring up, right? Do you know who Henry Wallace was?
Actually, no. That is a name I'm not familiar with.
Henry Wallace was FDR's vice president, right, from 1941 to 1945.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this last night. I couldn't remember the dude's name.
Yeah, me either. Fucking, but I got it in I went and looked it up today to make sure I knew who the fuck it was, right? And he ran in the Progressive Party in 1923.
Huh, that I did not know. I'm gonna have to look more into this guy because I am horribly out of touch on my history in regards to this individual.
Yeah, progressive.
Right.
Like, see, here's all right. I don't know.
Quick check for the chat. Can you hear me now?
Fucking, let's see. Fucking, we're gonna keep having this discussion because this
press one if you heard Excel say Electric Boogaloo.
One in the chat if you heard Excel say Electric Boogaloo.
When did you say Electric Boogaloo? All right, everybody says they can hear you now. All right, we're good.
Cool.
Right. Sorry. Just to give a backstory. Usually this shit's all set up, but I had to reset everything up because my solid state drive died, and I had to make a new one.
Oh,
or I had to install a new one. So, I managed to salvage all the videos and assets, but apparently it did not save my settings as to what my microphone should be because it had it set to some microphone that doesn't exist on my computer. I think it's my monitor microphone, to be honest.
Oh, that would make sense then. So that's I guess that would only be for OBS, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does it? I'm trying to think here. Like, yeah, that would go through OBS. Fucking wouldn't go through Discord. Discord would have a fucking thing. Anyway, right? Fishmel. Oh, that fucking sucks, man. I'm sorry about your life right now. Right? Okay. So, anyway, fucking, I want to say what up to Ordo Dragerbond. I'm not sure who the fuck you are, but welcome, my brother. Adam Hart's, fucking Golf City Joe Snyder. My boy, fucking Matt Dodge out in this bitch. And Despair Doctor, man, welcome. It's always fucking nice to see you the fuck out here and shit. Apparently somebody already gave you a fucking wrench. It's appreciated. And my boy, motherfucking AP, what up, my brother? How the fuck you doing? Silver Eagle, what up, man? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for coming out and checking out Tom Piece. You know what I'm saying? It's that time of the day. It's that time of the week. You know, and I'll be real, I had some spare time, so I figured I would come out here and do a fucking stream for y'all. You know what I mean? And because, well, Excel was free and Tom Pease was free, so we were like, fuck it, let's get it the fuck done. So, back to the conversation. Henry Wallace, right, was part of the Progressive Party back in the 1920s. But it goes much further back, right? It came out of Germany in like the fucking 1790s, early 1800s, 1820s, right? Fucking with the progressive fucking religion. And Thomas Jefferson was a deist, right? Which basically meant that he believed in God, but like he wasn't, you know what I'm saying, part of the mentality of fucking believing in the fucking Bible as the word of the Lord, right? And in that manner, it kind of matches up when you go, progressivism is the official religion of America. And people really don't have any idea. The individual who wrote the Constitution and the Bill of Rights was a deist. You know what I'm saying? He was not a religious man, but he was religious without a religion. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with deism. Like, I understand what it is, where they believe there is a God, but if you pray to him, like, you know, he doesn't really answer. And this is important because they did believe philosophically that there was a moral imperative that was universal to all human beings. I mean, that's what natural law is based on.
No way, man. There's no way that they believe in that, and that I'm standing here.
You're saying there's no way they believed in that? Like, it's all over their writings.
Right? I mean, because, like, you know, if that's what they believed, and then the people today are out here protesting because that they think that everybody should be treated the exact same fucking way.
Right. Okay. And the people that are protesting today do not believe in the same thing as the deists before them.
No, but
they got disproved by Darwin, and then they decided that they can make everything completely subjective, doesn't have to reflect reality at all. In fact, using reason, rationality, empirical evidence, any of that shit, throw it all out the window, because that's all just like cultural based power knowledge, and it's not real knowledge. In other places, like any other way to find knowledge, is equally as valid as, you know, what like reason and things like that would predict. What I'm trying to say is, like, those deists back then would not in any way, shape, or form agree with what's happening right now.
Well, think about this, right? Think about this. All men are created equal. Is that a true statement?
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Hold on. No, it is. It is.
It's not.
It is in the context of what they were talking about at the time.
It is not a true statement.
No, it's not a true statement, but, like, you have to understand what they said when they said all men were created equal. What they're saying is they were never, ever trying to say that all men are equal in all abilities in every way. What they were saying is that every man has the same basic precepts to their own rights, to their property and themselves, as any other man. Right? It's irrespective of outcomes or what they're capable of doing. It was a direct rebuke of like monarchy. The idea that certain people are born with these special privileges based on their bloodline. Right? It was just a rejection of that any person could possibly ascend to be whatever they wanted to be.
No, but you can't.
Well, I think you could make the argument that what they meant when they said all men are created equal, I would rephrase that to all men have basic fundamental rights in the eyes of the state, and they are through that lens are equal. In other words, equal rights.
All men are equal under the law.
Yeah,
Well,
in the
no,
eyes of the state, all men should be treated equal.
You can actually take the state away from it. Is that from a moral perspective, all men should be treated to the exact same standard?
No, they shouldn't.
Yeah, they should.
No, like, they shouldn't.
How are you gonna argue that? Like,
I can argue that all fucking day. That's really easy. Like I got family members who are special, and they should not be treated the same as everybody the fuck else. Like, they need help.
No, this is great. That's awesome, because we have a standard where we decide that people need help.
Well, I would make the argument: should everybody be held to the same standard? No, they shouldn't. But you have to put context in the eyes of the state. From a legal perspective, everyone is held to at least the same baseline standards. But you're not going to treat a general or a lieutenant the same way you would as a basic infantry soldier.
What you're missing is that. What I'm saying is there was this idea of a
Did you see all the caveats we have now just to the fucking statement of all men are created equal?
Yeah.
Well, no, I know the philosophy of the time, which I say it's like when they said that.
What you're saying
when they said it, it was absolutely true, and it did not mean that some retard should, have the exact same rights and outcomes as a very intelligent human being that is incredibly capable and productive. That's not what they were saying. And you can read the context in the Federalist Papers, like when they talk about that, or all the writings of the time. Like, if you read those, they explicitly say what they mean by equal. And it was a rebuke of the idea that your bloodline gives you some sort of priority over other people.
Well, I would say that all men are created equal applies specifically to life, liberty, happiness, and it starts and stops there. Like, that's the bedrock of how the foundation of the country should be. I think.
Well, it was the pursuit. Like, and if you fail to do it, then sucks for you. But if you can do it, we're not going to put any barriers just because your family name happens to be a family name that we believe is a peasant class.
Yo, look, here's what I'm telling you. All right, legit. This is what because legit, they had black men were 3/5 of human beings, and fucking the women didn't get the rights that fucking men got, right? And so they stood here and said that no, legit, that is a religious statement.
Yeah,
it's not. Look, it's not a true statement, right? And so when you go the whole way back to the beginnings of this country, right? This country was founded on progressive religion. This is progressivism before you can think of it right now. And nobody nobody's taught to examine this in this manner. Right? But this is the basics of what these fucking people are saying.
The founders, when they were talking about equality, was a rebuke of what was happening before them.
I get what you're telling me, right? I feel what you're saying. But to the common man, right, who reads that fucking statement, who read that statement in 1776, and the individual who reads that statement in 2020, it means the same goddamn thing.
Well, yeah,
common person.
No, it doesn't mean exactly the same thing, but the way the words are used, that's important, because I just had an argument about the well-regulated militia. And I was like, do you even understand what they meant by regulated in 1776? Or 1798, whatever, wherever they wrote that. Regulation did not mean being able to put restrictions on. It was like saying, I have a well-regulated diet. It's efficient. It works.
Well, and specifically what they meant by well regulated. There's a handbook or a manual back from like the late 1700s. It's from the Virginia militia. And what they meant by well regulated is every person had to have this much powder, this much shot with them. They had to own a rifle. Everybody drilled. Like everyone knew how to operate as a fighting force. They were regulated.
It meant to keep regular.
Yes.
And they had standards for what it meant to keep regular. But they weren't. Now, like our current version of the word regulation is, by definition, to put restrictions on.
Well,
that's not what it meant.
To be regulated means to motherfucking be dictated to the standards of which the fucking federal government or your local or whatever government is.
That's what it means now, but that's what it means now, but that's not what they wrote in the 1700s.
I feel you, right? But like, yeah, but as I said though, like legit, and like this is where like fucking, like as I said, like I've been reading a lot recently, like a lot, fucking, in particular, fucking Z-Han, told you I started reading The Wealth of Nations, and then I've been reading Mencius Moldbug, which is it's a newer writer, but he's kind of been breaking down like a lot of stuff and just kind of noticed this thing. And like the Henry Wallace thing, that's my own shit. Like that comes out of like fucking my knowledge about like fucking that time period because it's something that interests me in general. But fucking Mencius Moldbug really gets into this, and he says this is like an A religion is what he calls it. It's an A religion. It's a religion without a god, right? But it still has the same moral authority as a religion. And like you go, it's postmodernism, and I go, I think it goes further, much, much further back than that. Much, much further, because the same shit that fucking they espouse right now is the same shit in that statement, all men are created equal. And it's the same shit that guys like Henry Wallace in the 1920s were fucking fighting for.
And actually, Pnoid, I have no arguments about that with what I've been talking about with the recent streams have been about applied postmodernism. But there's this cult-like behavior that surrounds it, which goes back to well before that, like almost to the beginning of time, to be honest.
Yeah,
we haven't really gotten to covering that because there is a direct relationship to the cult mentality to exactly what you're talking about, and I'm well aware of it. It's just we haven't gotten a chance to talk about it on my little streams about critical theory and postmodernism.
Yeah, and so like I think like the best example that you can bring up is Henry Wallace, like me personally, right? And even before that, you can go to the guy who was at the turn of the century who was defeated, I think, by Wilson, if I'm not mistaken. He was a populist, but he espoused a lot of the same type of shit. So and like it's what led to the Temperance movement. It's what led to fucking, the fucking females' rights and all that fucking suffrage bullshit. Like all this shit stems out of the same fucking thing. It's the same vein. And it all comes out of the church when you really fucking like the organization of it. And the morality of it comes out of the fucking Protestant church. Well, and that's why you'll see a lot of it comes out of northeastern United States, where the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, even to this day, in like Harvard and Yale and all these places, are fucking legit. Fucking have a super hard stronghold as far as population, old money, and ability to influence, newspapers, media, and fucking academia. Look, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I've said plenty of times that like what we see right now from these far left movements that the Democratic Party is capitulating to, it's a new religion, right? They don't have to have any like facts or evidence to back it up, and it's what they did is they replaced God with social justice, and that's it. That's the only difference. It's completely unfalsifiable by definition. You read any of the books by the scholars, it's unfalsifiable.
Well, like even the thought leaders in it, right? Not even so much the scholars. Like if you look at how far it's pervasive, like for instance, you want to really listen to somebody who is really about that life, you know what I'm saying? Like, will espouse a lot of the same fucking values. Listen to a guy like Penn Jillette, right? He'll espouse a lot of that same shit.
Well,
And
Penn Jillette is sitting there. He's stuck in this libertarian version of reality that the Libertarian Party should have left a long time ago. I love fucking Penn Jillette. Don't get me wrong. I actually do think he's a really cool person. But I've heard so much nonsense, and Penn might be like one of the worst examples because he usually keeps his mouth shut. But the new libertarian, not the person they elected to be their nominee this year, but the chairman of the Libertarian Party talks about how social justice is it is totally compatible with libertarianism and is the next wave of what we're supposed to do. And I was like, are you fucking retarded? Like, this is literally an anti-liberal movement. Libertarianism, the only reason we have a word for that is because they thought that the liberal movement defected so far from liberal values that we had to have a new movement, and they called it libertarianism. That's it.
well,
I mean,
here's the thing. Like, I thought the number one thing in the Libertarian Party, other than weed, where it's like, for fuck's sake.
well, that's what the Libertarian Party is now. It's just a bunch of fucking socialists that want weed.
Right.
That's
but
it.
I thought the number one thing in the fucking Libertarian Party was ending the wars.
Yeah, I think that's up there. In which case, I was like,
Yo, why aren't you
God.
supporting Trump?
yeah,
Like,
no,
why aren't you
no,
supporting Trump? Like, Trump wants to end the wars.
We've had this conversation a billion fucking times where, like, when Trump first started, I didn't vote for him. I voted for Gary Johnson. I'm going to happily vote for Trump now. First off, as a fuck you to the people that are opposing him because their ideas, I think, are batshit crazy. And as sad as it is a great compliment to Trump that he didn't start any new wars.
Well, like, yo, did you hear that Congress stood here and literally passed legislation that he cannot draw down troops in the Middle East without their say-so?
Boy, that's news to me. When the fuck did this pass?
I would love to see that challenged in the courts because only Congress has the power to declare war. So Congress should be like, did you declare war?
Apparently, somebody missed the memo about the president's also the commander-in-chief. I would love to see SCOTUS go ahead and deliberate that one and see what powers the president actually has, because I'm pretty sure Congress isn't going to win that dog.
I would much rather Nancy Pelosi tell her constituents that we declared war in this area, forcing the executive branch's hand to deploy troops.
And MC, welcome. Retarded genius, welcome. Have a motherfucking wrench. I think that's our boy fucking Joshua Demas and shit.
But
Not real sure.
By the way, real quick, Fish Smell posted something that he said, no one is equal to anybody in any way. That's absolutely true. In fact, no man is even equal to himself, depending on the day.
Fair point.
Like, yeah,
Except what you were talking
as
about.
I once was.
But so what you were talking about, wouldn't it be fucking hilarious to see Pelosi and the House Democrats actually want to declare war simply so they can say, oh, now he can't withdraw troops?
Yeah, force them to do it, though. Like, force his hand. Go back to the Constitution. Make it so Congress declares the war. If Trump wants to pull people out of these, like, bullshit fucking, like, random fucking, like, proxy war skirmishes, if Pelosi thinks that's dangerous, then she's the lead of the Congress. She can get all the Democrats to vote to officially declare war in the area and force the executive hands to actually enact war in the area.
Wouldn't it be fucking funny to see all the old guard Democrats suddenly be the party of the Warhawks? I would laugh my fucking ass off.
Lawmakers, all right, here we go. Lawmakers from the Senate and the House have in the last 3 years sought to use legislation to prevent the president from withdrawing troops from Afghanistan, Syria, South Korea, and now Germany unless the administration certifies that a withdrawal will not harm U.S. or allied interests. It is an unusual reversal for Congress, which historically is a far more likely to seek to force a return of American troops, not demand that they remain deployed. But like that's what's fucking happening, right?
Yeah, it's horse shit.
As lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have grown increasingly concerned about the decision making behind Trump's withdrawal efforts, described to former administration officials as erratic, impulsive outbursts driven by domestic politics, it's an unconventional tactic that has gained popularity.
All right,
So-
he said real quick. So I was talking about the declaration of war shit, which I know MC, he doesn't like that language. I agree, they did. They authorized the use of force. You don't need specific language. But that authorization gives complete discretion to the executive branch. So if the executive branch says, we don't want to use force anymore, that's fine.
Yeah, he's supposed to be commander in chief, number one. Number two, there's actually supposed to be a declaration of war, not just an authorization of motherfucking force. Like, you're supposed to fucking declare war before we fucking actually go and invade a fucking country.
Yeah, I already know if MC joined the chat, he would totally disagree with this there. I agree with you, but
I know.
MC
Like, I argued with him yesterday because I said, like, I was given a historical context of, like, where the money go, right? That's kind of like where I was going to. And in the 90s and early 2000s, the vast majority of our spending was on the military, right? Up until, like, 2010, where, like, the baby boomers started fucking retiring in mass. And then, like, it fucking completely went to Social Security and fucking Medicare, right? But, like, you know what I mean? Like, that was what I was trying to explain. But, like, fucking, this was a historical aspect, not a fucking, I think we do need to draw down the amount of money. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Well, Pnoid, we were talking about this last night, and
Yeah.
you know what the wording of that bill tells me?
What?
That he needs the authorization of Congress to withdraw troops to make sure that withdrawal of troops or military forces doesn't go against the interest of the United States or its allies. That tells me that our allies are way too fucking reliant upon the United States, which is a problem. Like, we're not supposed to be there to help, prop everybody else up. It's supposed to be at least at a bare minimum a mutual agreement. I mean, hell, look at the way the UN treats the United States. Are you telling me that the United States is the one benefiting from these treaties and these organizations? Because I don't see it. But I don't know. Feel free to disagree with me. I'm open to opinions.
Like, man, listen, you know what I mean? Like, again, like, it's a historical thing, right? When it comes down to it, you know what I mean? And you can see it, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes down to, like, fucking the actual budget, like, itself, you know what I mean? Like, look at spending over time. Like, I have, like, right now I have this picture up from 1994 to 2015. Like, we spent way less money. Like, we were, like, one of the $1.2 trillion in total fucking money, right? Right. But fucking, like, the amount of money that we're spending now is up to, like, fucking, or the amount of money we're taking in is like $3 fucking trillion. Like, it's fucking patently goddamn ridiculous. Like, that's just what the fucking deal is. Let me see the report. Fucking, this is from the GAO, right? From 1995 and shit.
And that's the thing. The way we've positioned ourselves, both as a nation, but also as a nation that interacts globally, with the type of currency system and the type of trade and military treaties we have going on, we can't survive fiscally without bleeding out money and constantly inflating the currency. I imagine what would happen if someone came in and just said, no, we're just going to halt all money printing, like shut down the mint, shut it down. It would be a global shit show.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't at all in any way, shape, or form. Right?
I don't know. I disagree with you on that one. I think
no, because they don't print money.
Oh well, we're not gonna get into the Fed and the Treasury. That's
we're not. I mean,
unless you want to.
I'm not talking about the Fed at all. Right? The vast majority of fucking new money fucking actually created into existence comes from commercial banks. Like 97% of all new money comes from the banks.
We could get into the topic of conversation about cashless societies and digital currency. Like I always ask people, you buy an investment and it's worth this much money now, and it's worth twice that a year from now. Where did that extra, like, let's say it's $100? Where did the other $100 come from? It's there digitally. It's there in concept. It's there in terms of quote perceived value. Well, there's a reason that the run on the banks is something that government shut down really fucking quick. Because guess what? It doesn't fucking actually exist. Not even in the form of a fiat note. It's it's numbers on a fucking computer screen.
Again, like the vast majority of fucking currency created comes out of commercial banks. Because like most people who get paid a paycheck, like that money never really actually fucking existed before that week. Right? Because like most of the time people like companies are running on a credit line to pay you. Right.
Well,
so like that shit's all digital. Nobody pays you cash.
Well, that's why. Do you watch that guy? Do you watch that guy Truth Never Told?
No.
All right, he's one of the silver stackers that I watch. I somewhat agree, disagree, but that's a complete aside. But he always calls it the digital illusion of wealth and the fiat Ponzi scheme, and he's got a good point when he calls it that, and he's not wrong.
I feel you. Right. I mean, like that's kind of fucking. Oh shit! He said, "Got my stream from yesterday deleted by YouTube." Jesus Christ! Yeah, you're gonna end up motherfucking catching a strike, man. Not being able to fucking stream, like, but it is what it is. Anyway, like fucking yeah, the vast majority of motherfucking like currency is actually created through fucking the banks. So, like to stand here and say that, I mean, like if the fucking treasury shut down, we wouldn't have any we'd have a fucking massive problem. That's just not fucking true. Other than the fact that like they sell T-bills to cover the motherfucking whatchamacallit. I mean, the fucking Fed buys treasury bills to be able to cover the fucking federal budget's fucking spending and shit. I mean, but like reality is that, fucking like they make their own treasury bills for the most part. Like the treasury can basically be done away with and nobody would even fucking really notice when it really comes down to it.
No, that's a fair point. I mean, shit, when's the last time we actually sold a war bond?
Well, we don't sell war bonds. You know what I'm saying? We sell treasury bonds and savings bonds. I mean, nobody buys savings bonds because the yield's fucking trash. And let's be honest here, even with fucking them having even with them having like a fucking negative yielded motherfucking treasury note at this point, like they're still selling them.
I mean, they have to. It's the system that they've created is something that they can't just do away with out of the clear blue. Again, unless they want to just completely abolish the whole thing to begin with and call it a fucking day and start over. Which is always an option, I suppose. Probably not the best option, but you could if you really wanted to.
Unfortunately, the road we're on, that day of reckoning will happen.
I don't understand how we can have negative yielding motherfucking bonds. Like, I don't understand how that works in any type of economic like why would you hold on to something that's going to be less worthless? Like why would you use this as an economic instrument?
So because it's a variable, you would think that the yield will change over time.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
like,
why you would hold on to it.
You don't live on hope in the market.
Yeah, you shouldn't live on hope in the market if you're fiscally responsible, but there's plenty of people that still do it anyways.
I mean, I can see as like an international citizen buying it. Wait. I can see as an international citizen buying it with fucking currency that's going to end up being devalued and you'll end up fucking making money on it long term anyway. But I could never see it as a domestic fucking customer buying that shit in any way, shape, or form, especially denominated in fucking dollars.
I mean, if you were sitting,
hold on,
Doku,
real quick. I just loved how when I was going, and then you actually said exactly what was going on in my brain as to why that was relevant.
Yo, look, man, legit, I'm paying attention. I'm learning. Like, I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? Legit, I'm fucking learning, motherfucker. Like, yo, some point here soon, I'm gonna be on that fucking level where I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, like hang with y'all motherfuckers when it comes down to it. You know what I mean?
Oh, Tom, I can tell you the people that would actually want to buy a negative rate bond. It would be like the people who are still sitting on you remember back in 2009, 2010, there was a bunch of people trying to sell what the hell's the Iraqi currency? The dinar? I think that's what it was.
The dinar?
Yeah, the dinar, something like that. But if you were sitting on a stack of dinar,
The dinar was Libya, fucking, but I think it was just the Iraqi. Fuck, man, I don't fucking remember. He was.
I thought they changed it after Saddam was removed from power. I could be wrong on this one.
The dinar was Libya, I think.
You know what? Fuck it. Let me just check real quick. I don't want to do guesswork on this one. I can't remember.
I think the dinar was from Libya, legit. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it.
Doku,
Waylon Smithers here, nigga. Fucking have you a motherfucking wrench, my brother. Welcome to the fucking chat. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody here gets a goddamn wrench because I want everybody to have the ability to motherfucking say whatever the fuck it is you want to say and not get blocked and have everybody be able to see what you're saying. You know what I mean? Because YouTube be a bunch of bitches and shit. The drachma.
Okay, no, here it is. It is the Iraqi dinar. And
was it?
So,
okay.
Yeah, so like if you were sitting on a bunch of Iraqi dinar, which is now at, oh god, the rate went fucking down. It was it's 0.00084 to the United States dollar. So if you were sitting on a bunch of those and you thought the currency was going to lose value, or better example,
that's exactly what I just said.
Yeah, the Bolivar. Those are the type of people that might want to buy a bond, negative rate bond, and just hang on to it.
Well, yeah,
you're buying it.
There's also an easy situation because if you're in the bond market and you sell a bond, you can actually sell the bond for less than the value of the bond. So let's say you're paying 10 cents on the dollar for a bond that had a negative yield, but you only had to wait 4 years. You could gamble on the fact that you were paying 10 cents on the dollar to buy that bond.
And that's exactly what it is. It's a gamble.
Years that when it matures, that it will be worth more than the 10 cents on the dollar that you spent.
Yo, Justin, let me be real with you, Justin, man. I think bitches should get a button if they really know how to give fucking head. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it has been so goddamn long, you know what I mean, since I met a bitch who knew what the fuck she was goddamn doing. Now, let me be real, man. Fucking, like, the past 2 times I got it was not terrible. But I've had some broads, you know what I'm saying, legit drug they goddamn teeth the whole fucking time. Like, yo, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? My dick ain't been the fucking same since. It's fucking scared of the motherfucking broad's mouth and shit. The goddamn teeth fucking rubbing on the side. Fuck that dog. Sorry, man. I'd address that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with that ideology of like, yo, fucking blowjobs and hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that should be the currency of the world.
Right. But I got you. Yeah, like a negative yielding fucking currency. As I said, like if a currency is going to be devalued, you know what I'm saying, long term against that fucking treasury bond, like you might as well hold it in that and you get paid off long term on what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? Like I got you. It's more stable than the currency that you're holding at the moment. But that's the problem with a fucking treasury bill. I mean, like, yeah, you can say that like the dollar might lose value, but I don't know how low they're going to let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they're going to let it get down past like fucking 75, really. You know what I mean? Like, that's really the fucking deal.
I don't even fucking trust them to even be thinking about that, to be honest.
I rate it was a last minute thing, man. Like, fuck, we didn't plan this shit.
Well, are people like complaining about like, why are you streaming? Yeah.
No, Irate said, "Hey fam, wish I'd have known you've been streaming." Like, fuck.
Hey, if you want to join Pnoid's Discord, Irate, you're more than welcome to join and come talk.
You know the deal. You're always welcome. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, we're talking currencies and shit. I don't know, like fucking. Like, well, yo, it was a heavy intelligence stream.
It was a real last minute thing. Like, you were sitting there talking to gaming on gaming stream, and I joined in, and we just took over the entire stream. And we're like, you know what? Look, let's go live on Pnoid's channel.
So you join gaming and yelling.
Me and Doku do this shit all the time too.
Yeah, you join gaming and yelling stream, and immediately the conversation turns to economics. It's the same shit that happens when Pnoid joins me and Dodge.
Anytime I go anywhere, it turns into an economic fucking conversation.
Once again, what's in economics? I don't get it.
Fucking doubt have you a motherfucking wrench, man. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Nice to see you out here. Silver, almost $30 from money borrowed stimulus. Bullshit, doubt. Silver's at 45. Real shit. Like, yo, check fucking eBay to see where the fuck it's trading at. You know what I mean? See what motherfuckers are actually paying on the real market for hard silver. With the fucking premium, it's fucking like up to like goddamn fucking $45.
I mean, shit. Like 2 weeks ago, when the price dropped back down to 26, the premium on the American Silver Eagles they were still at $36. And I know, yes, 2020, it's pre-order. Dude, that they were still selling them at 30. They were still selling them at 36 back when silver was at 28, $30 an ounce, a month or so ago. And you know what that tells you? They don't have enough fucking and what who said this? TK. Yeah, TK brought this up. They are actually running out of actual silver rounds, like blanks, to actually print the fucking coins on.
Let me tell you like this, fucking they invented a whole new product for motherfucking silver and shit to start selling. I was like some shit like fucking 150 kilogram deliveries or some bullshit like that, right?
Oh yeah, they Comex did that shit. They did that like what, 6 months, 7 months ago?
Yeah, me and you were talking about it and shit, right? Like me and you had a conversation about it. And I know me and fucking John Doe had a conversation about that shit too. But like legit fucking like, yo, man, that fuck like they didn't have any gold. Like they released their fucking shit to show everybody that, I mean, they sat here and they had, that fucking joint or that fucking thing or whatever, right? Or they had like how much fucking gold they actually had because they had to let it know, right? But they didn't actually fucking have any in stock. Like they were selling them as a fucking, as you know what I'm saying, a fucking investment item and an investment tool, but they didn't have any in stock. So
yeah, they were doing it.
They were just printing them. You know what I mean? Off the fucking back.
Yeah, they were doing it for future delivery. They were doing futures on it, but for actual physical delivery of the metal. And what they were taking into account with what the mines were saying that they had wasn't actually in reserve. It was gold, silver, whatever other metals that were in the ground that they knew were there, but hadn't actually been mined out of the ground yet. So as far as stuff that was actually out of the ground and then, made into a rounds or bars or what have you, it wasn't there. The stock itself did not exist.
Yeah, and silver's of a much higher demand than gold is, especially for industrial use. And like I know with like industry kicking back in, and like they didn't have a glut on the market. Like they said they had a glut on the market of industrial silver, but it like fucking real shit. Like it didn't really actually exist because like silver went down to $12 a motherfucking ounce, but nobody could buy any of it ever. Like there was never shit fucking for sale and shit. You know what I mean?
No, I got lucky when I started buying again. It was right around the time it went below 18, and I stopped being able to buy because the price got to like $13-$12. It was like what, 2 years ago or so it hit that price, and it floundered around between like 13-15 and until just the past like 6-7 months. But I bought as much as I could, and all of a sudden it got to the point where it's like, damn, I can't buy any bars, I can't buy any fucking rounds. All right. So instead of buying 1 ounce bars, I'll start buying 10 ounce bars. Shit, can't buy 10 ounce bars. Those are all sold out. Fuck it. I'll buy a kilo. Shit, I'll buy another kilo. And then it got to the point where it's like, I could only buy, maples and eagles and philharmonics, shit that has a ridiculous premium that I don't really want. Because end of the day, dude, yeah, I know all the people out there who do stack silver. They're like, well, everybody recognizes American Silver Eagle. It's like, yeah, everybody recognizes a fucking bar of silver too. All you need to do is give an acid test. Well, I'm not buying it for the fucking, Walking Liberty design on the fucking face. I'm buying it because I want the damn metal.
Yeah, hold up real quick. Is my vision all fucked up, or is a TK Mao in the stream?
TK
Mao is in the motherfucking stream.
Holy shit, man! I haven't talked to you in a while, man. What's up?
He's like, what's up, man? Let's talk while we're having the stream right here. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a separate conversation.
Yo, look, I haven't actually seen TK Mao's name in months, several months.
Yeah, all right. So, the new gold futures contract with expanded flexibility delivery, 100 ounce, 400 ounce, or 1 kilogram bars, right? And they didn't have any of that shit anywhere.
I mean, and normally silver usually runs out of stock faster than gold does whenever there's a run for precious metals because, silver's cheaper. It's poor man's gold, so they say. But I disagree with that. But
yeah, Joe Snyder says he just buys bullets. I agree with buying bullets, right? I bought 1,000 rounds when I noticed we were out of toilet paper, right?
Well, the thing is, now there's an ammo shortage. Anybody who follows commodities realizes the first thing when you start seeing gold and silver go out of stock, or when food prices start going up, the first thing you should always do if you don't have to worry about food or toilet paper, which if you have running water, you don't need to worry about fucking toilet paper.
TK Mao said Sup Excel, and Waylon Smithers says, what is a dividend when talking about investment?
Hold on, I saw that in yo, Doki, you're missing the point. There's words of wisdom that just kind of slipped out in the stream about what happens when you show up to the grocery store and there's no toilet paper. The answer is not to rush yourself to find toilet paper, because that's easy to solve for. The answer is, if people are buying that much toilet paper, you need some fucking ammunition.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fucking simple. Like, all right,
Yeah,
so
the first
I want to address Waylon Smith's shit. He says, "What's a dividend when talking about investment?" All right, so a dividend is a portion of money paid to stockholders just for holding a stock. Right? It has nothing. It doesn't grow with, like fucking stock price. It doesn't shrink with stock price. Sometimes they readjust it, but it's rare. But they won't readjust it. Like before they pay you for your fucking quarter or whatever the case might be. And like, say like it's a fucking 2-cent dividend per share or whatever. If you own 1,000 shares, it's $20. You know what I mean? That you're going to make off of that stock, whether or not fucking it goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways, whatever the case might be. Like you'll always make that fucking dividend. That's what a dividend is on a fucking stock. You know what I'm saying? It's just there for you to hold, that stock no matter what happens. Right?
Well, think about it like this. As a shareholder, you're a partial owner of that company. So when the company makes profits, a portion of that profit gets paid out to the shareholders as a dividend. Divided up by shares. So that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's your portion of
it's
company
that
income.
simple. It's why the stocks that I'm still holding on to, I'm down a couple $100 as far as the actual value of the stocks, but I'm up like $600 because of the dividend.
Well, the good thing about dividends is that's money that goes directly into your cash account. So you can hold on to the stock. It doesn't matter if the stock goes up, if it goes down. The only way that dividend is going to change is if the company increases the dividend or decreases the dividend. And so it gives you some liquidity for just holding on to the stock. So if you want to buy and hold and just build a little nest egg, go ahead and buy some like solid blue chips like Microsoft or some shit, or fucking at this point Apple or Google, and just let them sit there and just generate money.
Yeah, so like people in there that are already retired, they're usually only interested in dividend paying stocks. My dad is a great example of that. That's all he buys is dividend stocks.
Yeah, but like the bitch is you have to motherfucking you have to have a whole bunch of stock in order to make money off a fucking dividend.
Oh yeah, like we're talking about people that have, like, if you only have $1,000 to invest, you'll get those dividends, and we're like, great, I got a $5 payment. You have 10,000 though, then all of a sudden you're like, well, I got a $50 payment every quarter.
Yeah,
and if you have like you can just see how like that stacks, right? Like, so once you have $1 million, you're like, I got $50,000 worth of dividends this year. And I didn't really care that the stock value itself went up and down.
Yeah. But like if you're on your way up, if you're bubbling up, you're trying to like go from, like $1,000 to $10,000, like that fucking dividend is worth a shit. Like if you're trying to make money in the market, fucking that dividend is not worth fucking shit.
Oh yeah,
like
really
comes down to
day trader style trade. You don't care about that. Buy and hold dividends or dividend holding stocks are great. Like it's just a company like one good one that pays a pretty good dividend is AT&T. I don't think they're going away anytime soon. They pay a pretty good dividend.
All right. So let me correct motherfucking doubt real quick, right? About what exactly is going on in the U.S. market and why the stock market is high. Okay. So at current, there's somewhere between like 10 and 70 trillion dollars sitting in the markets, right? That is just boomer retirement money, right? And legit, it's all seeking yield. So they can't let the markets go down because, like, fucking if they do, then they have, fucking a lot of fucking old people who are going to go hungry and lose their houses and not be able to make car payments and insurance payments, and it wrecks the whole economy, right? So that's why, like, they continue to prop up this fucking market, right? So on top of that, I mean, like every time like some fucking stock starts going upwards, these giant fucking what's known as institutional investors, which is like kind of retirement accounts, things of this nature, they have bots that kind of pile all in, and that's how companies like fucking Tesla end up with a $2,300 fucking stock. You know what I mean? Having a fucking, what is it? How much fucking money was it? It was something like fucking $438 billion fucking market cap, some nonsense like this, when in reality, their company made $200 million in the history of Tesla, right? Like, so that's kind of where the mentality really is. That's what's actually going on at the moment, right? Like Tesla is not worth, you know what I'm saying, 1,000 or 2,000 times fucking earnings, right?
Well, and a good way to figure out if a stock is if it's worth what the market's actually pricing it at is look at the PE ratio and then the PEG ratios. PE being price to earnings and PEG is price to earnings growth. If your price to earnings is below 20, that's usually a pretty fair value for most stocks. If it's above 20, that's usually overpriced. So that's just a general rule of thumb to go by. The PEG ratio is a little bit more complicated because you have to look at the rate of earnings growth over a certain period of time. So you could say something is fairly valued if it's at a PE of 28. If the PEG ratio is something like, you know, a 1.5 or 1.6, because that's saying they're more than doubling their earnings growth over the course of whatever time frame you're looking at. Say like a PEG ratio of like 1 would over the course of 5 years, they're doubling their income every 5 years. So
Yeah.
you could say a PE over 20 is a fair value for something like that. But if it's under that, maybe not so much. But that's a more complicated metric.
These kind of ratios you're talking about, that's how like really smart investors were able to predict things like the .com bubble, right? Because you have all these companies that had like ridiculous 300 to 1 price to earning ratios, and you're sitting there like 20 to 1.
Well, and also even just to use
okay.
The PE ratio is a little bit better, but even just to use a PEG ratio effectively, and this is where professional investors, hedge fund managers and shit, really make names for themselves. Is you not only have to be able to read the metrics and know the market sector, like the back of your fucking hand, but you also have to be a little bit predictive in seeing like, okay, is there any room for this market to grow? Like a great example I like to bring up is Elon Musk's Boring Company. Well, that company was supposed to be there to fucking drill out tunnels for mass transit systems in like major urban areas, and there wasn't a fucking market for it. So he turned around and started making fucking flamethrowers. It's shit like that you have to be able to predict. Is there any more room for this market to grow? Because if not, then it might as well go flat and start paying a dividend.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you like this, right? Like legitimately, Tesla's has a PE of 2,000.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
no fucking way.
2,000.
Okay, hold up. I don't doubt you, Pnoid, but I gotta see this shit for myself. Because there's no fucking way.
Like, yo, their PE ratio is fucking ridiculous. Tesla PE ratio.
Okay, yeah, Tesla's PE ratio on a market capitalization of $416.86 billion. They have a PE ratio of 1,151.06. Holy
Yep. That's exactly what I was talking about. That's how the .com bubble happened.
All right, hold on. Let's just put that into context. Let's pull up.
Yo, and legit, I watched a stream the other day where somebody like, these Tesla investors are rationalizing it the fuck out. Where they're like, yeah, Tesla's completely worth this. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't think like, Tesla has its own insurance company, and Tesla's fucking like, they're delivering direct to customers without a fucking, without dealerships, right? And I'm gonna do a video on this. Like I have it downloaded, but I just haven't fucking done it yet, right? Fucking, okay. But like, how like half of the fucking car market legit is in aftermarket fucking parts from fucking fixing cars.
Yep.
Like, if you don't have any fucking goddamn dealerships, you can't fix cars, stupid. What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, here. So I'll go ahead and do like just a quick, very baseline financial analysis of this. So let's put this into context.
Okay.
Tesla's stock price is trading currently at $447.37 per share.
That's after the 5-way split.
Yep, after they're split. So for all the shares on the market, that gives them a total value, what the market's valuing the stock at, for a total of $416.86 billion with a PE ratio, price to earnings, of 1,151. That means for every dollar they make, the market is valuing that dollar at $1,151.06. They're not paying a dividend. By comparison, GM, General Motors, is currently trading at $30.96 for a total market capitalization of $44.31 billion as the market values it. They have a price to earnings ratio of 29.47. So for every dollar, they're assuming 29 bucks. And their dividend yield is 4.91%. Which one do you think's the better buy?
I'm going to go with GM.
I think anybody with a brain is going to go with GM.
Easily.
Even if the price goes down, they're still paying you money to hold on to the stock.
I did a video on Tesla the other day. Check this out. Here's some companies that Tesla are bigger than, right? Walmart. They have a larger market cap than Walmart.
Are you fucking... Who the hell is... Someone has to be buying this shit to profit up. There's no fucking way. It has to be hedge funds. That's the only way this shit ever happens is hedge funds.
Yo, it's the institutional fucking investors or just fucking piling in because of the fucking bots, right? Walmart, number one. Number two, they're bigger than Toyota.
Well, they're bigger than GM. We just established that.
They're bigger than fucking Exxon.
What the fuck?
Yo, they make less fucking... I swear to God. They've had 2 quarters of profitability, right?
Like translating this to reality is that some people have paid money that would contribute to Toyota, right? Most of us have paid money that would contribute to Walmart. Very few of us have spent a single dime on a product that Tesla sells.
Yeah, go. And now I've seen Teslas on the road. I drive for a living though. I go across states, you know what I'm saying, through cities. So I see Teslas all the fucking time. Yo, look, real shit. They're bigger than Walmart. Their market cap is bigger than fucking Walmart at this fucking point. They're literally one of the biggest companies. Walmart is the second largest employer in the United States behind the federal fucking government.
Yeah, you know what it is though? Like with Tesla, it's a lot of irrational investors. It's like what you said, people that are just gambling on things. But there's a ton of faith that Elon Musk is going to come up with some groundbreaking technology that is going to be an industry leader that's going to make the stocks make the actual earnings skyrocket.
All right, hold on. I wanted to look something up real quick. Just because when you said Exxon. So Tesla has a larger market capitalization than Exxon. Exxon had a revenue over $279 billion. Just over $279 billion.
Yep.
Tesla has a revenue of $6.04 billion.
Yep.
All right, you guys do you. It's your risk.
Yeah, look, did you look and see how much money they actually made off of that $6 billion?
I'm trying to pull that up now, but I know their earnings. Let's see, their net income. Net income is $104 million.
They're bigger than Exxon.
Yep. Versus, well, okay, net income for Exxon was down 1.08 billion, but we did just go through a bit of a rout in the oil market, so their operating costs are high, but still, dude.
Look at Walmart. They're bigger than Walmart.
Oh, and I know Walmart's earnings last quarter were fucking ridiculous. Let's go ahead and I'll just pull up Walmart real quick because it's been a while since I've done any type of real analysis like this.
Yeah, I should have fucking face palmed and been like, oh, this COVID shit is happening, and like put a bunch of money into things like Walmart, Amazon, what else? You know what I'm talking about? Like the big box stores that don't actually need their brick and mortar presence to make money.
Okay, here you go. Walmart, damn, Walmart killed it last quarter. Walmart has a revenue of 137.74 billion. That's up 5.65% year over year. Their net income was $6.48 billion.
God, how awesome would it be whenever a pandemic like COVID hits to
They,
be a place that sells?
Their income is as big. Their net profits, right? Their net income, like the amount of money they make after they pay all their bills and all the bullshit, is bigger than Tesla's entire operating revenue.
Yep, for every dollar they made compared to their operating cost, their average profit margin is 4.7%. That's up 69.68% from the same quarter last year. Their total net income is up 79.39% from the same quarter last year.
You know what? I'm gonna be a Tesla apologist here and be like, yeah, you know what? I don't give a shit. Here's Walmart launches a car into space. It's fucking playing music 24/7. Then I'll invest in Walmart. But until then, Tesla, 100%, man.
Well, I always like to compare Tesla to Apple because they have a cult following. Like a lot of people don't buy Teslas because they care about the environment or shit like that, or because they don't live close to a gas station, but for some reason they have a fucking solar panel on their fucking house. Like it's a cult. It's a status symbol.
They want to pretend that they care about that stuff. And
it's a status symbol. Like if you care about that shit, like you'd buy. Like if you really gave a fuck about the environment, like be honest, you'd go out in there and you'd buy a fucking turbo diesel. It's actually more economical and it's also better for the fucking environment than all the strip mining that goes into those fucking lithium ion batteries. But they don't care about it. It's a status symbol. Like what's the South Park episode? That's not smog. It's smug. It's what it is.
Well, no, technically, actually, fucking Donut Media actually stood here and did fucking comparison, like Car Channel. Actually did a real comparison about fucking whether a Tesla is fucking better or like an electric car is better for the environment or a fucking diesel. And, they come to find out that fucking, the plug-in electric is actually better for the environment long term, by every measure than fucking diesel or fucking any other fucking shit that you want to bring up.
I mean, but how long of a term are we talking about here? Like over the course of 10 years, 20, 100? Because I mean, all that infrastructure is still in place.
It makes it up in the first 5.
Oh, okay, that's fair then. Because it used to not be quite that efficient, but maybe technology has improved. It's been a long time since I even looked at the auto industry. So my numbers and everything are outdated by about 10 years.
Yeah. At the end of the day, those numbers, like all they really mean is like, hey, we're still burning a shit ton of fossil fuels, just slightly less than we would have, which are still not enough to account for what far leftists want us to do to account for climate change.
I mean, it's not going to get you to net zero. I mean, shit, this is another argument, slight tangent. For all the efforts that we would make to get to net zero, one fucking volcano has to go off somewhere to completely erase that effort.
No, it's not a change. And what I tell a lot of people is climate change real? Well, sure. Right? Is it caused by men? Like, well, certainly. Like, our activities are going to change the environment around us. Sure, it's going to change the climate.
I mean, yeah, we have an impact.
So what predictions are you going to make about the future of our impact? And what measures would we have to take to stop it? And and nobody asks that question. Like, an economist did, plenty have. But what measures will we have to take to try to stop it or reverse it? And what's the cost we're going to have to pay to take those measures?
Well, here's the real thing though, like legit, like plants, they eat carbon dioxide. Like, they literally eat CO2. Like, that's fucking what they do, right? So, like, legit, CO2 is something that over the past, 20 years has grown more forest because of the heavy, rich amount of fucking CO2 in the atmosphere. Like, And now, like, there's more forest than there's been on the earth since before man walked on it.
Well, and also here's another thing to bring up about the whole climate change, global warming argument. And when you look at a lot of the studies, and I'm not talking about the ones that are funded by some organizations, like some NGO somewhere or some shit, but like the actual legitimate studies, the reason they can't find any conclusive evidence of human beings having this like large significant impact on the environment as far as global warming is concerned, A, how long have you been studying it? B, how accurate was the information? And C, how thoroughly? What areas were we looking at? Like, were we looking at the entire world? Were we only looking at the rainforest? Were we only looking at Pacific Northwest? Have we taken into account local fauna, animal populations, the advancements in technology? There's a lot of factors that go into it, and any thorough study that you find shows no conclusive evidence that human beings have any significant impact. In fact, most studies that actually come out say that the impact is the most generous I've seen is roughly 2%, but most of them conclude it's usually less than 1% compared to all other environmental factors.
Yeah,
So
But like, yo, I want to say, welcome to Kukukaro, the Goblin Slayer. You know what I'm saying? Have a wrench, enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. I like trees too. I'm an Appalachian motherfucking river gorilla. You know what I mean? Yo, man, everybody gets a wrench in this bitch. Everyone gets a wrench in my chat, so you don't ever get silenced by nobody.
Yeah, here's one of the biggest problems is like nobody in America like wants their environment to be ruined. Like we all kind of agree that like, you know what? Even me, like I fucking hate government, but like sure, there's areas that have beautiful forest and lakes and stuff where we're just like, no, fuck you. Like we're cutting this off, nobody can buy this land, this is open to the public, and we're gonna keep it clean. Right? Like I think almost everybody agrees that's okay. But what people are asking us to do with this climate change nonsense, it's way beyond that. What they're trying to say is things are so dire that we have to stop burning fossil fuels altogether. We can't just do it in America, right? If America does it, doesn't affect anything, right? We have to make China do it too, and all these third world countries. And if it makes it so that some people starve to death because we make the price of energy so high they can't survive as long as they should have, so be it. Like, that's the far left extremist attitude on climate change.
Well, like, that's why I don't know why everybody bitch about Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? Like he's handing out, you know what I'm saying, birth control and fucking medicine for fucking the Africans and shit and the whole nine, and Indians trying to get the population down. Like
I'll bitch because they just need to die, but that's the story.
I don't, not that, look, sure. I did the studies on how many people actually died in these fucking countries. It was like 12 people, right? And you know what I'm saying? Like fucking 12. These are like, when you're talking about the sheer raw volume of fucking like shit that was handed out, you're legitimately talking about, it's the Agenda 21, folks. The interdimensional space demons are out here working with Bill Gates to kill all fucking Africans and fucking.
You were the person that told me stop feeding these people and we'll solve a lot of these problems.
Yeah, I'm with your ideology, right? I'm with your ideology. Like, stop fucking feeding them, and like it will go a long goddamn way. But like, I'm not anti fucking like Bill Gates out here fucking trying to like legit lower their fucking population. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
like when it comes down to it.
Actually, in reality, I'm not anti any private citizen using their money to provide for causes that they think are just.
Except like if you're gonna fucking, influence the fucking political leanings of my fucking country. I have an issue with you buying my fucking congressman, right? Like I have an issue with you funding motherfucking riots in my country.
Oh, subverting freedom. Yeah, no.
Right.
Not a fan of that.
Population control. Yeah, exactly. Like this is kind of where I'm at. Like population control is not necessarily a bad thing. It's really not. You know what I mean? And especially when you're talking about like, I'm a hunter, right? I'm a fisher. Like I'm an angler. You know what I'm saying? Like I go fishing, I go hunting, I do all these type of things. And like I understand that like if we don't, you know what I'm saying, like murder off the deer population a little bit, like fucking they'll end up having way more of them starve. Right.
That's why they have hunting season for deer in any place where it's the problem. It's not even just that, but like you let it run rampant, then all of a sudden
Especially with no predators.
you have a shit ton of fucking accidents, like car accidents, because deer are fucking stupid.
That's secondary, right? That's secondary, right? It's more along the lines like they'll die in the fucking wild over winter if there's too many of them, right? Because like they don't have any natural motherfucking predators.
Hunt them, kill them, and eat deer burgers, and
right?
they're fine.
Yeah, but they don't. Again, like they have no predators because we killed all the predators off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And like it's just like there's fucking like legit. There's animals in our country that just don't have predators because like they died off 12,000 fucking years ago. Right? Like for instance, there's a fucking deer in I think like northern New York and Michigan's up in the north, right? That runs 66 miles a fucking hour, right? And it's fast enough that it can outrun any animal that hunts it. It doesn't have a natural predator because the natural predator it had was a cheetah that lived, you know, I mean, fucking 12,000 goddamn years ago, and the thing still has its fucking speed. So like, as people, we become its fucking predator. Like that's just how that operates. And we control the fucking population numbers. And not only that, we don't feed it. Like you have to stop feeding things if you want them to stop surviving. It's like, you clean your fucking house to make sure you don't get fucking cockroaches. It's that fucking simple. Tom Leach, what up, man? Here, fucking let me fucking give you a goddamn wrench over this bitch. I don't know how the fuck you don't have a wrench. Like, welcome, my brother, welcome. You know what I'm saying? Nice to see you out here.
Well, this goes like, back to a socioeconomic problem. It's when you don't give people handouts, then they live or die by their own means, and you see them like most people because they want to live, they want to live the most prosperous life as possible. More often than not, you're going to see communities rise up whenever you pull the anchor underneath them, right?
Yeah. Completely agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking, and this is the problem is that like if you that's just like what's going on in our major cities right now, right? Fucking when you have these major cities that stand here and have long live the rento state, you're fucking right. We're one of the last ones left. You know what I mean? But like legit, we will keep this bitch a goddamn rento state as long as I'm in charge of it. I don't give a fuck. Right? So, with no tag limits. Yeah, we don't need hippos. Legit, we don't need hippos. And they probably get murdered off like early by like alligators and catfish and, fucking Asian carp. Like there's lots of problems. Anyway, right? Fucking yeah, so that's why we had these problems in the major cities because we keep pumping in welfare, which allows people to fucking breed, but they don't have any jobs to support themselves. Right? So we keep feeding motherfuckers, but they don't have any purpose. Like this is the fucking issue in the fucking cities in our fucking country. Legit.
Well, that's the
thing. We got rid of their jobs. Go ahead.
That's the thing is because they're the safety net. I understand completely. Yeah, people sometimes an industry changes, some new technology comes by and it gets replaced, or there's a shortage. Something happens to where people get laid off. It takes some time to find a job. I understand. Like, some people don't have. Well, they should, but they don't have 5, 10, 15,000 bucks saved up in the bank, for worst case scenario. So you might need a little bit of assistance. But the safety net was supposed to be just that, a safety net. The welfare state I'm completely fucking against because handouts was not supposed to be a fucking lifestyle. Yeah. You're only supposed to fucking have that just enough to get you over the hump. And another thing, this is more real quick. This is more the social aspect to it. And I like to use food stamps as the example. We got rid of food stamps and replaced it with EBT cards. Why? Because there was a social stigma against being on fucking food stamps. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, this is something I want to say. There was a time in our history where universally, regardless of what the government said it was, most Americans agreed that it was a social stigma to accept government assistance. And they've changed it to be, it's more of something you're entitled to. So as long as you have a population of people that believe they're entitled to,
let me say this, right? Let me say this. You can solve the welfare problem tomorrow. All you have to do is stop giving it to women and only give it to men, and it'll be solved tomorrow. Legit, the whole system will be solved tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
everything will stop.
We can also solve a lot of shit by making sure that the only people that can vote are people that pay taxes. You don't even have to repeal the 19th. Just be like, yo, you if you're a net taxpayer, you can vote. That's it. So then we can sidetrack the entire thing about how there are plenty of women out there that are productive members of society. They can vote, sure, but
I'm
not
not
the
against
single
that
women.
idea.
Well, again, like, yo, we get back to legit. If you give the fucking welfare only to males, right? Legit, you solve the whole problem.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, because like, yo, the fucking breadwinner is supposed to be the man in the house, just to begin with, right? And like,
no,
they're-
it's not that I disagree with that premise. It's more like I'm looking at a practicality standpoint of what we could ever possibly convince people of. And I'm not sure we can do that based on sex lines anymore. I'm not sure. Maybe we should, but I don't know. I don't know. if we
Kooky
can do
Carl,
it.
I'm with your ideology. I'm with your ideology completely. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I have supported for a long time. I am an accelerationist when it comes down to it. I think everyone needs to get on fucking welfare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, let's bleed the beast dry.
Where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if we're gonna get this done, let's do it today.
Shit, man.
Like,
They're
I don't
actually,
know why we're fucking.
yeah, they're
waiting.
handing it out to us right now with like these COVID lockdowns. It's just like, don't leave your house. Like, you know, we talked about Kyle Rittenhouse a little bit, and I don't have enough time to get into it. I have to leave here pretty soon, which is another thing I was going to tell you. It's like, let's wrap this up in the next 5 minutes
I'm with your
or so.
ideology. I'm gonna go to fucking bed myself. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's like, don't provide for yourself. Don't protect your communities. Don't protect yourself. If you do any of that, you're an enemy of society. That is the message being played by the MSM and our government leaders, at least on the Democratic side right now.
Well, like, on top of that, you know what I'm saying? I think we should all seek Kyle. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it,
Seek
you know what I mean?
Kyle.
Everybody should seek Kyle. You know what I mean? When it comes down to shit, you know. Like, I feel like that's a bad meme to start right now, but you know what I mean?
Being attacked by commies, seek Kyle.
Seek Kyle. You know what I'm saying? If you're fucking having your house burned down, you should probably seek Kyle. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, if your
Gotta
business is
fucking
being
step
burned
away.
down, you should seek Kyle.
Step away for one
that-
fucking minute, and I come back. We're talking about seeking Kyle.
Like, yo,
Oh yeah, we're talking
seek
about
Kyle.
like I vaguely alluded to Kyle Rittenhouse, but that whole situation, like I got more attention on Twitter commenting on a thread by Steve Kerr where he condemned Kyle Rittenhouse as a mass murderer. Just like I guess Facebook made that official policy. So if you're on Facebook and you say Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong, plan to get permanent banned. I watched all the videos and I'm just like, no, fuck that. Like, what's the other option? What is the other option to being Kyle Rittenhouse? The other option is don't protect your communities and don't protect yourself. That's it. That's the message they're trying to send. It is morally wrong to do either of those things.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, we should seek Kyle when it comes down to it. And I want to blood letter 87 Gil. If you can't afford to keep it, you know what I mean, don't get a pet. You know what I'm saying? Is it wrong to think of saying about having kids? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, like I'm not arguing with you about that fucking point, but let's put this down to where the fuck it goes. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. So the thing is that they hand out $55,000 a year to female, right? You know what I'm saying? With all their fucking programs and the bullshit, right? You know, so
all
really,
they have to do is have a job that makes them $20,000 a year, and the government gives them an extra $30K.
What up, Simraj? Right, we're about to get the fuck out of here. I apologize, right? But like, yo, if you know what I'm saying, like, yo, you've priced everybody out of the market who makes less than $70,000 a year from having a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? And having a family, and that's really the bigger part of that fucking issue. You know what I'm saying? And the other part of it is the fact that with you having things like Section 8 and HUD housing in neighborhoods, it drives up the cost of rent. You know, I mean, when you're willing to pay $1,500 a month from the government to fucking stand here and, you know, I mean, rent a fucking apartment for a fucking single mom with her kids, you know, I mean, like, why is it that you would not charge their neighbors $1,500 a month for the fucking rent?
Although another thing that we need to do that would solve a lot of the fucking problem, and again, this is a problem of the ever expanding welfare state, which is nothing more than the symptom of federal government over the past 50 years having the habit of ever expanding into every aspect of our lives. Stop fucking rewarding people monetarily for indulging in fucking hobbies and habits that they can't fucking afford in the first place. Like, oh, but it's like, what was that one idiot? I think it was actually Riley Dennis. Well, poor people should be able to eat lobster too. Motherfucker, I could barely afford lobster once a month. If I gotta live on fucking ramen, like, what the fuck are you over
I
here
was
saying?
like, I never eat lobster, and I'm not poor. Right? Like,
that's the thing, like,
I'm straight up middle class.
I
and
had
that's
a
just not
lobster.
something
I had a
would
lobster
do.
like fucking 2 months ago. I was in Boston and I ordered a lobster on fucking Uber Eats.
Great,
Wow.
like people can do it, but like, yeah, we're understanding. Like, most people, even middle class people that aren't reliant on government assistance, can afford to go to the grocery store and buy it, like, even a good strip cut steak for every night of the week that they're gonna eat. Most of us can't do that.
That's the thing. Yeah, you don't have to fucking go, and like a lot of these people, you don't have to fucking go out, drink 3 beers and eat at fucking Longhorn Steakhouse every other fucking night of the week. Like, stop indulging people for being shit at budgeting and fucking engaging in vices that they can't afford. Like, do I like to smoke and do I like to drink? Yes, but you damn well better believe that before I go out and buy beer or buy a fucking Black and Mild or a cigar to go smoke, I sure as shit make sure that I have food in my refrigerator to feed me for at least until the next paycheck.
Yeah, actually, like, I brought up a point. I was talking to a friend of mine. And I was just talking about how shit I am at budgeting. But I'm shit at budgeting, and I spend too much money. But when I spend too much money, my savings account goes up every 2 weeks. Right? Every time I get a paycheck, my savings account goes up, and it hasn't been touched for 2 years. Right?
See, most people don't fucking do that.
Well, I'm saying, like, no matter how shit I am at budgeting, and I know I spend too much money, and I need to change
not only
that.
Like, Sinrod said the cheapest way to eat is to buy ingredients and cook. While the other half of that fucking equation, yeah, there we go. It's healthier for you. It is 100% healthy. I have not had boxed food in probably 10 years. Legit.
Absolutely.
And even before that, like, I don't buy garbage. Like, I don't buy shit. You know what I mean? Like, I eat garbage on the road a lot of fucking times. I'll be honest with you.
And Sinrise found the truth of this, of moving out of Southern California, Long Beach area, and moving into a more rural part of California, where he has to do that shit.
You can make your own bread. It costs nothing. It's just people are fucking lazy, right?
Yep, I'm one of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember seeing that one? I forgot who did this. I think it was either Vox, Vice, or BuzzFeed. It was one of those garbage ass fucking outlets. But ever since the whole pandemic thing started, they did a whole fucking article and a video on millennials who don't know how to fucking cook. Like, they literally don't know how to fucking cook. Like, one bitch couldn't even figure out like how to turn the damn stove on. Like, bro, are you fucking kidding me?
And TK Mouse show up for Tom P streams. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking appreciated you coming the fuck out of here.
Dude, yeah, TK Mao called you out earlier explicitly. Been a while, dude. How many mushrooms have you eaten tonight? That's the only question I have for you. Anyway, Tom P, I gotta end this stream here pretty shortly.
All right, man. Yeah, you gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get up in the morning, go to work. You gotta get up in the morning and do work.
Yeah, I gotta wake up in 7 hours, so.
But I want to say thank you to Doku, thank you to Excel. Make sure you sub the game, shit. Like, for fuck's sake. I mean, catch Tom P's over there a lot of times during the fucking week and shit. While I'm out on the road doing my fucking things. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody in the chat. Thank you everybody for showing up. You know what I mean? Support the fucking channel. You know what I mean? Showing love to the goddamn gorilla and shit. You know what I mean? In the meantime, make sure you buy the motherfucking John the Teespring store. You know what I mean? Get some goddamn merch. And, you know what I'm saying? Handle your business. In the meantime, Excel, shut this bitch the fuck down.
Yeah, I'm going to shut it down. I do have one thing to say. Is every Saturday night, I do a stream with on Irate Process channel. It's a purely academic stream talking about the current social justice movement and its ties back to critical theory and postmodernism. Please sub to Irate Prostate. He's only 40 subs away from 1,000, right? Let's even though you're permanently demonetized, let's get Irate monetized, man. Let's get him through that that last 40 sub hump, just to help a fellow YouTuber out.
What's your ideology, man? All right, man. Let's get this